The first week of the new academic year in Poland is behind us. At a time of high prices, many students were counting on the support promised in the election campaign in the form of dorms for 1 złoty and a 1,000 złoty subsidy per month. And what is the reality?
Adam,
Please thank the minister. My son just graduated after the first year. The budget didn't manage. We were counting on a dorm for 1 złoty and a 1,000 złoty subsidy for the student per month. Thanks for the election promises.
No tak.
Well, yes, these questions arise. Once again, I want to emphasize this is not written into the coalition agreement. In other words, forget the election promises. And these tempted not only students. Millions of Poles were counting on solutions to facilitate access to their own housing, such as 0% credit or the construction of low-cost rental housing. There is no consensus in the coalition on this issue either. And as recently as last year, civic platform politicians were outraged about the problem. Dear teacher, you can't afford to rent an apartment? According to your deputy minister, you should work more, take extra hours. They have millions, and the rest of us are supposed to work hard. In fact, Arkadiusz Myrcha himself has found another way to get a cheap apartment. He and his wife Kinga Gajewska take 7,750 zł a month from the Sejm's chancellery to rent one unit. This benefit is available to MPs who do not live in Warsaw. Despite the rather high prices for real estate in Warsaw, I will say frankly 8,000 zł is already the Versailles Palace. Prices are around 4 to 6,000, and here we have 8. I would be curious to investigate the question from whom these people are renting this apartment from, and whether this is the market price. Myrcha and Gajewska have specialized in a kind of slalom between privileges. In order to receive a rental subsidy for their apartment, they declared an apartment outside of Warsaw. On the other hand, they started paying taxes in the capital to provide their children with the free care that only Warsaw residents are entitled to. Due to my parliamentary duties, I spend a large part of my working days in Warsaw. In order to provide my children with a place in public childcare facilities, I had to become a taxpayer in Warsaw, so the Warsaw residence is for purely tax purposes. The Deputy Justice Minister was defended by his colleague from the parliamentary benches, Roman Giertych, among others. The place of residence, the place of registration, the place of paying tax obligations, and the place where we vote can be 4 different places according to Polish law. Married MPs can live together and can collect a joint lump sum, and they can send their children to preschool, and they can and should travel to their districts. However, criticism of the well-known married couple is pouring down not only from the right-wing opposition.
Jest to po prostu nieprzyzwoite.
This is simply indecent, and we demand more from MPs, deputies, and above all, from the Deputy Minister of Justice himself, and we expect him not to bend the law for his own benefit. The question of the ethical dimension of Arkadiusz Myrcha and Kinga Gajewska's behavior remains open. The purchases the couple made for their parliamentary offices are also questionable. In the previous term of the Sejm, with taxpayers' money, Arkadiusz Myrcha purchased 4 coffee makers for a total of more than 7,500 zł, among other things. Meanwhile, Aleksandra Gajewska bought herself an Apple Watch worth nearly 1,500 zł, as well as 2 vacuum cleaners.